I am a metahuman, and this is the Meta Customization System. So what would you like me to be? An orc ready for battle? Or a lawless bandit from the post-apocalyptic wastelands? Anything is possible. The Meta Customization System adds real-time in-engine customization to your metahuman.
Hi guys, welcome to this video on the Meta Customization System, how to use it with Sequencer. Okay, so in the last video we looked at how we could create a new level and add our Meta Customization System to it. You can use the same method to add it to an existing level, whether it's a sci-fi level, fantasy level, whatever you have. Okay, so we are going to set up Sequencer, well, not really Sequencer, we're going to set up the Meta Customization System to work with Sequencer. We're going to only use one character for now. In a later tutorial, we'll look at how we can use the entire system with multiple characters and multiple customizations. Okay, but for now, we are just going to use one character. So the way we can use the Meta Customization System with the Sequencer is a little bit different from what we've been doing. Mostly we've just been click and play and we get our Metahuman and our customization menu. So though we turned it off at the end of the last tutorial, but I'll just set it to default so that we can see everything. So I'll re-enable the menus. Okay, this is probably how it will come for you with all the menus enabled if you didn't turn off the menus. I'll go to slot 1. I'll switch to a female character. My customization has changed a little bit. So when you're switching from male to female, just try to keep them on separate slots so that the customization doesn't change. Yeah. So let's say I want to use this character. Let me change the outfit as well. Let's say I want to use this character in this form. Okay. And increase the height there a little bit. Yeah. So I want to use this character with my sequencer. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit first of all. Just pick a face. Okay, I'll just use the original face. I'm going to exit first of all. Okay, and if I click play, my metahuman will pop up automatically. Okay, I don't know what's up with my skins. They're not saving. Sorry, this isn't a final version of the product. So I just have to set it up again, make sure it comes out correctly. Yeah, okay. So when I click play, this will not work with the sequencer. So I'm going to have to add the metahuman separately to the level, okay? So that I can use that metahuman with the sequencer. Okay. I'm going to click stop here. I'm going to find my Hannah blueprint. Remember, Hannah is the main metahuman that I am using with my customization system. I'll click and drag Hannah into the level. Okay. When I add Hannah to the level, I'm going to get some of the customization, not all of it. Most of it is just going to be the default HANA Metahuman, okay? Because in editor, the customization is not actually applied. The customization is mostly applied when you press play, okay? So this is the HANA that I actually added to the level, okay? And this is the HANA that is on the blueprint, okay? So now let's say I only want to use the HANA that I've added to the level, because this is HANA that's going to be used in Sequencer, okay? I'm going to have to click on my meta styler, okay? You can find it in the out slider if you can't see it, if you put it somewhere far away. Just choose BP meta styler, okay? And what you want to do is, if you want to click on load Metahuman with this BP question mark, disable that, okay? It's currently true, so if we disable that, a Metahuman is not going to be loaded when we click on play. So now we've only got HANA, which we added to the level. We can no longer load the Metahuman using the blueprint, okay? So that's good. Okay, that's what we want, because we don't want a duplicate of the character appearing, okay? I'm going to set this in position 000 for now, okay? Not really because I want to do anything else, but just to have it at the default position, okay? So now when using Sequencer, I personally do not want the menus to appear, so I'm going to disable them again, okay? So I'm going to set them to hide. I'll type hide. I'll select the BP meta styler. I'll choose hide. On the face tool BP, I'll choose hide as well. And on the body tool BP, I'll choose hide as well. Okay. Hide in menus. Okay. If you watched the last tutorial, you know about that. If you didn't, then you can just do what I did there. Maybe you're using the demo level. Okay. So click play, and my menus are all hidden. I'm going to save this in case of any crashes. I'm going to call it Sequencer Tutorial. Okay, I'll save that, and I'll proceed to add a sequencer. Okay, so I can just press H to hide the meta body tool. I can press H to hide the bandana. Okay. Before I add a sequencer, I might want to click on use live link body. Okay. If I choose use live link body, okay, I might want to do this, I might not want to do this. But if I choose it, I'll get the customization that we have done. It will be showing in real time, okay? But only the body and the face customization. Unfortunately, there's no way to make the clothing customization show automatically in real time, okay? Rather in editor. But I can get the customization for the body to show, so that I'm using the correct body while I'm in the sequencer. Okay. If I want to see the outfit, I could. Okay, it might complicate things, but I could do this temporarily. I could open the blueprint for the Metahuman, and I could add some clothing to this blueprint. So I'm going to choose the torso, and I'm going to add the armor that we've got going in the customization. Okay, I'm going to add this armor to the blueprint so that I can see it while I'm using the sequencer. Okay. You might want to skip this stage, you might not, but if you want to see it, you can add it and then you can remove it later on. Okay. So I'm going to, while torso is selected, I'm going to go to the Meta Customization System folder, I'm going to go to the skeleton meshes, female, tall, medium weight. I'm going to find the skeleton mesh for the armor. This is SK Sci-Fi armor. I'm going to add it there. I'm going to compile it. Don't worry about how it looks in here. It always looks weird in here. Okay. But it looks fine in the viewport. If it's looking weird in the viewport, just turn on use live link body, and that should fix any weird looks in the viewport. Okay, so I've added it there. I'll click play just to see if I've affected my customization in any way, and I haven't. So for now, I can keep it there. Okay, but if you start changing your customization and things are looking weird, maybe in the clothing area, please just remove the mesh which is set here, okay? Because it's not meant to be used that way. I'm just doing it for the purpose of the sequencer so that I can see everything, okay? Unfortunately, the hair is not going to show. I would have to change the hair mesh and the skin customization and all the rest of that stuff. But this is just for a preview purpose so that we can see exactly what we are doing in our sequencer, okay? So now I can go ahead and add a sequencer at last. Sorry if I've taken long to get to this stage, but there are a few things we need to do first of all before we start using the sequencer. So I'm going to add a level sequence. I'm going to save it as tutorial. If I can spell that. Tutorial sequence. Just tutorial SCQ. I'm going to make a folder called sequences. Sequencers. Save that, and I'll get my sequencer here. Okay. So, before we begin, I hope that everybody, okay, I sincerely hope that everybody has set up their blueprints correctly, because if you have not set up your blueprints correctly, you are going to add your metahuman to your sequencer, and it's not going to have the control rigs, okay? So the control rigs are present here because I've set up everything correctly, okay? But if you just added body customization and facial customization to your metahuman without copying the control rigs, your control rig is not going to show up here, okay? So go back to the first tutorial that shows you how to set up the body and facial customization correctly so that your control rig shows up, so that your faceboard shows up, because they will not show up if you don't see them. Either press G so that they show up, but if they don't show up when you've pressed G, it means you haven't set them up. If they're not showing in the sequencer here, metahuman control rig, if that's not present, it means you haven't set it up correctly. You go back to the first tutorial that shows how to set up body and facial customization and do that correctly, okay? But otherwise, if you followed all the tutorials step by step, you should be good, okay? So now, one of the first things I'm going to notice here is that some things are misaligned. The head is in the wrong position. The head control is in the wrong position. The arm control is in the wrong position. And some of the other stuff is in the wrong position. You might be able to work like this. I can work like this. But for some of you guys, it might be a bit annoying. Actually, for me, I find it to be actually better because I can see my controls more easily when they're not inside the body. But this isn't how it's supposed to be, okay? So if you don't want to use it like this, don't use it like this. You don't have to. What you can do is you can pose your character without seeing a preview of the body customization. If you click on the metahuman and go to the details panel and you turn off use live link body, and maybe you reload the level. Let's just save, reload the level, and let's hide the meta body tool again and open up that sequencer which we created and added to the level, tutorial sequence. Open the sequencer. No, it's repositioned itself. Let's try that again. It was correct when it got started, but as soon as we opened up the sequencer, actually it went back to the full customization. let's go back to the details panel of our Metahuman. Maybe we've got something else on. We don't have anything else on. Okay, so in the case that this is happening for you, usually when I turn this off, it goes back to the default body setup. But in the case that it's not doing that and you want everything to be in the correct position, what you can do instead is you can go to the Meta Body tool and just disable the height. Okay, go to the Meta Body tool, click on the Meta Body tool, type hide, and hide in menus, disable that, click play, and disable the height. Okay, and then click on stop. We can re-enable the height when we're done with our sequencer setup. Okay, so now in sequencer you can see everything is in the correct position now. Okay, and this is supposed to be hidden, so just click on it and press H. Everything is in the correct position now, and you can start posing. Okay, so you can pose it in the correct position, and then you can re-enable the height later on once you've posed your character or you've created your animation. If you want to work with the body customization applied, you can re-enable everything. Okay, so it's all up to you and how you want to work. So for now, I'll work with okay, I'll do half of it with the body customization applied. I'll do half of it without it applied. Okay, so I'm going to go to frame. Okay, first of all, frame 0. I'll just create. I'll just create some keys there. Okay, on frame 0, I'll enable key all. Yeah, I think everything is okay. I'll change this to Smart Auto, and I'll keyframe on frame 0 by clicking here under Meta Control Rig. This will key everything. Okay. Now jump to frame 15. And this is where I'm going to have most of my frames. Well, actually, let's key on frame -15. Okay, so that frame 0 is our default pose. Okay, I'm not going to animate this. I'm just going to pose it. Okay, and I'll create a pose. Maybe just have her stand in. Yeah, so I do have a bit of a reference here. I could never find the high-res version of this image. So I'll just try and pose her like that. Okay. So I'm going to rotate the head. Make her look like she's gazing out somewhere. And just pose the feet. I won't do anything serious here. I just need enough to just enough for an example or a tutorial. Just kind of try to make her look like she's walking. Okay, so now if I click on play, since my sequencer is open and I've clicked on play, it's actually going to apply that pose. But I do believe that if I close the sequencer and I click on play, It's going to, you guys obviously already know about this. It's not going to show anything. So I have to set my sequencer to autoplay. And I can leave it on don't loop since it's not an animation. I believe it will be just fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have to leave it on loop. I'll set it to loop indefinitely and see if I can hold that pose. I haven't used sequencer in a long while. I tested this, I actually completed the sequencer part of this product more than 3 months ago, so not everything is fresh in my mind, but yeah. So we've got that sequencer pose there. Okay. If we want, we can do some more customization, or we can remove these menus if we want. I'm going to just adjust some of these because some of the armor is overlapping because there's too much weight in some areas of the body, so I'm going to adjust her a little bit. Yeah, we've kind of got like maybe not exactly the same, but I don't need it to be exactly the same. I could still go in there and edit it a little bit more. Let's just press G, click on that control rig, adjust the head. In the full version of the pack that comes with this armor, you do get some helmets which you can add there. I haven't installed it to the pack, but otherwise there is the modular sci-fi warriors pack, which does have more features. That's where that armor is from. And I could add any of these helmets to the product. I could probably just add them under the props meshes, and I could have a helmet on the character like that. Okay, but in the current project there's no helmets. If you want those helmets, you would have to purchase them separately, together with all the rest of the modular features, modular armors and stuff like that. Okay, but yeah, now we can finalize this by creating a camera and adding that camera to our project, our level sequence. So I usually don't create my cameras like this, so if I do something wrong, please know that it's the first time I'm using this button. Usually I just drop my cameras in the level, but I'll create it from here this time around. And I'll just try and see if I can get that same look. Current camera focal distance. So I'll key this and I'll change my focal distance. I could just track the character, but I'll do it manually for now, just to save time. And as my reference, I would say it's quite similar, almost the same. Okay, I do believe it's created our camera cut automatically. Okay. The focal distance isn't 100% yet, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not really centered. Okay, so let me go back to that focal distance and just adjust it a little bit so I get a sharper image. And I could animate this camera. I'm pretty sure you know the process, but I won't. And since my sequencer is open, Let me just close down the sequencer and click on play. So it is using my sequencer camera now, okay? But if I wanted to disable the main camera, all I would have to do is click on blueprints, open the leveled blueprint. I don't know why it's on the compiler results instead of the event graph. So just open up the event graph, disconnect this, and we'll actually never use the character camera, the rotating character camera, until we reconnect it. Okay, so now we're using the sequencer camera, and we've posed our character in sequencer. We can remove the menu, or we can put all our menus back on. We can still customize our character with the menus on. So we'll do both just to finish off the video. So I'll type hide there. Here in the details panel, I'll type hide. I'll disable the hide for this, and I'll disable the hide for the styler, meta styler. So I can actually customize my character in that sequencer pose. Okay, I can't control the camera now. If I reconnect the camera and I disable the camera in the sequencer, I should be able to use my character camera with the character posed with the sequencer. Okay, so now if I want to, I can change the hair. And I can change, everything, hair color. Basically, all my customization is usable again. Okay. I could reconnect my customization camera just to see what it looks like, and disable my camera cut. I do believe that I can disable the camera from here. If I click on the sequencer asset, then the level, and disable the camera cuts. Click on play, and now I've got my pose, and I've got my character camera working again. I like the black hair. Okay, so basically this is how you can use a sequencer with the meta customization system. Okay, in a separate tutorial we are going to look at how we can do this with multiple characters that will come later on. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'm just going to hide my menus again so that I can see that final shot, and save everything, click play, hide this, and yeah, basically we've got this working with our sequencer. Oh, and the last thing we forgot to do was to readjust our height, because we actually had a tall Metahuman before. You can do that on your own. I'm just going to quickly do that. You can do that if you decide to do it if you're following everything I'm doing step by step. So we readjust the height. So the height was actually disabled, so now I've re-enabled it. Sure, wasn't that tall, something like this. Okay, and if I go back to the sequence, I guess the height will be adjusted. Look at that control rig, and yeah, as you can see, the character's taller in the sequence. There's some misalignments now, but you can pose your character in the original in its original height first, and then add the sequence. And then add the height afterwards. But If you want to pose it like this with the misalignments, you can also do that. Okay, just whatever you're comfortable with. Okay,